The cargo hold of the stellar drift hummed with the familiar rhythm of hyperspace travel. Jamie stood before the containment pod, arms crossed, studying the creature inside with a mixture of curiosity and wariness. The vampire, if that's what she truly was, remained perfectly still, her pale skin almost luminescent under the sterile lighting. "You're insane for taking her as payment," his co-pilot had said before abandoning ship at the last station. Vampires are death in a pretty package, but Jamie needed the credits, and Lord Vexian had offered either 10,000 galactic marks or the vampire girl locked in stasis. The credits would have covered fuel and repairs. The vampire, however, represented something far more valuable, a mystery and potentially a weapon. Her name was Zenaia, according to the datapad Vexian had tossed him. 23 years old by human standards, though vampires aged differently. Captured on Proxima VI during a raid on a colony vessel. No family, no allegiance. Just another bloodsucker who'd been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Jamie tapped the control panel, reducing the stasis field by 30%. He needed her conscious but contained. The pod hissed, and Zenaia's eyes snapped open, not the predatory red he'd expected, but a striking amber that seemed to hold galaxies within them. "Where am I?" Her voice was surprisingly soft, lacking the hiss he'd heard from other vampires. "Aboard my ship. Your payment for a job. Consider yourself cargo until I figure out what to do with you." Zenaia's lips curved into a sad smile. "Cargo, how fitting." She pressed her palm against the transparent barrier. "You're human. They didn't tell you what I am, did they? A vampire, blood drinker, parasite. Take your pick. Those are the words they use." She tilted her head, studying him with unnerving intensity. "But you've never actually met one of us, have you?" "Not really. You've only heard the stories." Jamie had heard plenty. Vampires were remnants of an ancient genetic experiment. Gone wrong, humans modified to survive on iron-rich blood. Their biology altered to process hemoglobin with supernatural efficiency. They were faster, stronger, and could survive in environments that would kill baseline humans. They were also hunted, enslaved, and feared across every colonized system. "I know enough," he said, but doubt crept into his voice. Over the following days, Jamie found himself returning to the cargo hold more frequently than necessary. Zenaia never begged for release or threatened him. Instead, she talked about her childhood on Europa Station, about the books she'd read, about the stars she'd seen through viewport windows. She spoke of loneliness that stretched across decades, of being treated as a monster before she'd ever done anything monstrous. "I've never fed on an unwilling person," she said one evening while Jamie performed a routine systems check. "My colony had synthetic blood. We were peaceful. Then the raiders came, and Vexian captured you. Vexian murdered everyone I knew." Her voice remained steady, but Jamie saw the tremor in her hands. "He kept me alive because rare specimens fetch higher prices. I suppose I should thank you for being cheaper than his other offers." Jamie felt something twist in his chest. He'd assumed she was dangerous, criminal, something to be contained. But as he listened to her story, he realized she was simply a survivor like him. The ship's alarms shattered their conversation. Jamie sprinted to the cockpit, Zenaia's voice calling after him. "What's happening?" "Pirate vessel," he shouted back, fingers flying across the navigation console. "They're jamming communications and charging weapons." The stellar drift shuddered under the first impact. Shields dropped to 60%. Jamie tried evasive maneuvers, but the pirates had superior firepower and speed. Another hit. 40%. The hull breach alarm screamed. Jamie made a decision he knew might kill him. He ran to the cargo hold and deactivated the containment pod. Zenaia stumbled out, weak from days in stasis. "What are you doing?" "Giving you a choice. Help me save this ship, or take the escape pod and run. Either way, you're free." Zenaia stared at him, those amber eyes searching his face. Then she smiled, a genuine, fierce expression that transformed her features. "Tell me what you need. Get to the auxiliary weapons system. It's manual control only, and I can't fly and shoot." She moved with inhuman grace, disappearing down the corridor. Jamie returned to the cockpit, pulling the ship into a desperate spiral. Through the comm system, he heard Zenaia's voice. "Weapons online. Give me a target. Coming up on your left in 3, 2, 1. Now, the auxiliary cannons roared to life. Zenaia's aim was perfect. She struck the pirate vessel's engine core on the first shot. The enemy ship spiraled away, venting atmosphere and debris. When the immediate danger passed, Jamie found Zenaia in the weapons bay, breathing hard, her hands shaking. "I haven't fired a weapon in 5 years," she said. "I'd forgotten what adrenaline feels like." Jamie sat beside her on the cold deck plating. "Vexian lied about you. You're not just a vampire. You're military trained." Zenaia laughed bitterly. "I was part of the Europa Defense Initiative before it was disbanded. We were supposed to prove that vampires could protect humanity, not prey on it. Then the Senate decided we were too dangerous to exist in uniform. Most of my unit was decommissioned. The word hung heavy between them. I escaped. Barely. Your true identity," Jamie said slowly, pieces clicking together. "You're not just any vampire. You're one of the enhanced defenders, the vampires who held off the Krillian invasion at Europa." "I was there," she confirmed quietly. "We saved 40,000 human lives that day. 3 weeks later, they declared us enemies of the state." Jamie understood then why Vexian had kept her alive, why she was worth more than credits. She wasn't just a vampire, she was a symbol of humanity's hypocrisy, of their fear of anything different, even when that difference had saved them. "I'm sorry," he said, "for treating you like cargo, for believing the propaganda." Zenaia placed her hand over his. Her skin was cool but not cold, alive with subtle warmth. "You gave me freedom when you didn't have to. That's more than most humans would do." They sat in comfortable silence, two outcasts aboard a damaged ship, until Zenaia spoke again. "Where are you headed, Jamie?" "Nowhere specific. Wherever the jobs take me, then take me with you. Let me earn my passage properly. I'm an excellent shot, decent engineer, and I only need blood once a week. Synthetic works fine." Jamie really looked at her and saw not a monster but a person who'd been betrayed by the very people she'd fought to protect. He saw someone like himself, alone, drifting, searching for purpose among the stars. "Welcome to the crew, Zenaia." Her smile could have lit solar systems. "Thank you, Captain." As the stellar drift limped toward the nearest repair station, Jamie realized that sometimes payment comes in unexpected forms. He'd taken a vampire as settlement for a debt and found something far more valuable: a partner, an ally, and perhaps, eventually, a friend. In a universe that feared difference, they would forge their own path forward, together.